so much, Vivian. Well, finally, it will come as no surprise that our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Bryan Luizzi, would like to continue the tradition with you of sharing an opening school New Year message. Dr. Luizzi's second year as our superintendent, I know, will again be marked by innovation, high standards, wisdom, caring, collaboration, and inspiration for all of us. Please join me now in welcoming New Canaan Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Bryan Luizzi. Good morning. Good morning. There's nowhere to go but down from there, Gary. Thanks. Now, truly, good morning, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to a new school year. Can you hear okay in the back?
Yes.
Hopefully it's not disappointing. Truly, now this day is a special one in that it marks one of the few times during the school year when we convene as an entire school system. It provides us with the opportunity to reconnect and celebrate together, to meet and welcome our new colleagues, and to give thanks to many of the people who contribute to our success as educators. I'd like to offer some heartfelt thanks, to share a little bit about my summer, and to express a few thoughts as we prepare to begin another school year together. First, I'd like to start by acknowledging a few folks. First, it's my great pleasure to introduce and welcome several members of the Board of Education this morning. As I've experienced firsthand this past year, we're incredibly fortunate to be working with a Board of Education that's comprised of 9 individuals who take their jobs very seriously, base their actions on what they believe will be good for the students in the system, dedicate enormous amounts of time, and treat all of us, when we're in the room and when we're not, with respect and gratitude for everything that we do. Each member of the Board of Ed is an advocate for all of us. And through their efforts, they've successfully garnered support for education here in New Canaan at many, many levels, financial and otherwise. So please join me again in welcoming and thanking Hazel Hobbs, Board Chair, Penny Ration, and Sherry West for being with us today. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our first selectman, Mr. Rob Lassie, for his many efforts on behalf of our students and the schools. Rob supported the New Canaan public school system in countless ways throughout the years. I think probably more than any other graduate of Darien High School in history. Rob's support for our schools and our mission has really, truly been a great boon for us in our pursuit of excellence for every child in our care. Thank you for all that you do. Another valued partner in our work is NCEA President Vivian Birdsall. Vivian has an inspiring story. Vivian quickly earned her way onto my speed dial last year. Her professionalism and integrity helps us in our work. And together we worked on some very important challenges facing our system last year. I look forward to continuing our positive and productive relationship as we all continue to face challenges together in the year ahead. Of course, our parent leadership group continues to serve the schools in countless ways as well. Their support for this morning's breakfast is only one of the ways that they work as partners with us to help us to create a strong and vibrant school community. Are they still here? No? Well, they did a great job. Okay. My children will be pleased I cut a few minutes off the speech. They said it was too long. But truly, finally, I want to say also thanks to Gary Cass, Lisa Abrams, and the entire HR team for putting this year's convocation together, and to Gary for being this morning's Master of Ceremonies. Thanks, Gary. Of course, to Bruce Gluck and his team for preparing another outstanding meal that exceeded our expectations. We expected salmon this morning. So good. And of course, special thanks to all of you. I had a nightmare this weekend that I came in to speak and first couldn't find my speech, but when I finally got here, the room was empty. And I didn't know if I had missed it or if I was in the wrong place, and I couldn't figure it out. And I won't even tell you what I was wearing. So it's really a great pleasure to be here this morning and for the nightmares to stop. But it's great to see, and it's wonderful to have an opportunity to reconnect a little bit. It's important, I think, to also, for me to take a moment to welcome our new colleagues. We just very quickly heard, it was a bit of whack-a-mole again here with popping up and down. But it really very quickly, quick introductions, but I know in the days ahead you'll have an opportunity to get to know each other in your buildings and get to know more about our district. Over 30 new teachers were hired this summer, which is an awful lot of work for everybody involved in the hiring process. Certainly the administrators, the teachers, the certainly HR team, everybody else who spent their summer doing what's probably our most important work, right? Identifying and inviting other professionals to become members of our school community. I do want to take a moment again to introduce our three new administrators as well. Dr. Joanne Keating is our new Director of Finance and Operations, who's joining us from Weston. Joanne. Mr. Bill Egan is our high school principal. He's joining us from Region 6. Bill. And Mr. Matt Salvestrini is our new Director of Digital Learning. Matt's joining us from Region 12. Each of these educational leaders brings to us incredible skills, talent, and energy. I'm confident they'll make extraordinary contributions to our school system in the year. You know, I found that some summers are exciting, some are lazy, and some are enlightening. This summer, mine was the latter, as raising two girls continues to be something I'm woefully ill-equipped for. Josie just turned 14, Mia 12, and I thank God every day for Jody, my wife, who, despite my many shortcomings, manages to keep it all together. She liked that part of the speech. We took a couple of wonderful trips together, each with many stories and experiences that I'd love to share. But since you have plans this afternoon, I'm just going to whittle it down to one. But I do look forward to hearing from each of you and hearing about your experiences and exploits over the summer. And if you'd like to hear more about ours, let me know, because I love talking about it. But we tried something new this summer, something we've never tried before. Both of our girls spent a week away. They went to a YMCA camp in Massachusetts called Camp High Rock. They'd never been to sleepaway camp before. The longest they'd been away was a one-night sleepover, and I was usually the first parent to pick them up in the morning. At this camp, we're not allowed to call them or talk to them in any way. No electronics, no texting, no conversation whatsoever. So that was very tough for me. After delaying the drop-off as long as I could, Jody pulled me out from under the bunk bed, put me in the car, and we left our daughters in the woods of Massachusetts for a week. Mia had some friends there, so we were confident she would have a good, if not a great time. Josie, however, didn't know anybody. As I said, has never gone to a camp before. And since she's just starting high school, she's a freshman beginning next week, we thought it'd be a great learning experience and a confidence builder for her. Although camp policy didn't let us communicate with the girls directly, they take about 100 pictures a day and post them up on their website. So we developed a system. In the pictures, the girls agreed to smile with their teeth showing if they were having a good time. Makes sense, right? Is that helicopter? I don't know. I think I'm okay. It was my idea. They were good with it. They humor their father. Of course, if they're not doing well, just give a fake smile, you know. And then I would know, and I'd be okay. They worry about me. So I thought it was ingenious. So all week, we'd look at the pictures, we'd go online, and we saw these big, wonderful, toothy grins from both of the girls. It was great. Mia with her pack of 6 friends, running around, doing everything that they do. Josie with same kind of group of kids, so you feel good. They get to know some friends. And it was all, we felt great. Jody and I, we had some time, we did some fun things. Everything was wonderful until Saturday morning. The day of pickup, when we pulled up the pictures first thing in the morning, and there was a picture of Josie, looking at the camera. She knew the picture was being taken, and she gave the fakest smile I've ever seen. So as you can imagine, every reservation, every concern we had, I should say I had, with sending them away, instantly became a reality. We jumped in the car and drove as fast as we possibly could to the lake. I was driving. And it's not, you can't go very quickly when you're driving. It's a 6-mile dirt road. So as I'm driving on this road, 15 miles an hour, it's one lane. You can imagine the anxiety building. So we strategize in the car. As soon as we get there, we'll go find Josie. Mia's okay, we'll go find Josie. Of course, the minute we park, Mia comes running down. And she's so happy, gives Jody a big hug, and spontaneously they start crying. They're so happy to see each other, all those great things. I'm tapping my foot. And we go to Mia's bunk to see and start to get her packed up. And after about 5 minutes, which felt like an eternity, I can't take it anymore, and I take off to go find Josie. She's my firstborn. Gotta go take care of her. She's having an awful time. It's an awful week for her. So I get to Josie's camp. I find a counselor, finally find Josie. Our eyes lock. She's right, and with a pained expression on her face, she says, "Can I stay another week?" True story. "What about the picture?" She says, "What about the pictures?" "What? Oh, that? I was just sad because we were leaving." Then I almost began to cry. And it hits me all at once that right under my nose, the universe has conspired to prepare my beautiful baby girl to be an independent, strong, and confident young lady, and ready for what's ahead. And that I'm not. And I have a lot of work to do. It was an enlightening summer, frightening, liberating, empowering, inspiring. To know, as I watch my own children grow up and learn from them and learn the stresses of parenthood, it teaches me so much about our work and our profession, and how important every day is, and the great responsibility that we have as we come in every single day, and we have to deal with 20, 25, 50, 100 fathers like me, who think so much about their own children, worry so much about their well-being, and how fortunate every one of our children are to have you looking out for them each and every day. So as you reflect upon your experiences over the summer, I hope you find that you had an opportunity to spend some time, like I did, with those that you love, learning, laughing, growing together. So now we transition and begin to contemplate the start of a new school year together. And before we look forward, I want to take a moment just to look backwards on a couple of the things that we did this last year, things that we should be very proud of as a district. First, under Jill Parenti's outstanding leadership, aided by the excellent work of the CLC, many of you participated in curricular review processes in your discipline or grade level. In particular, the work with STEM K-12, the technology department, has helped our district to make great strides in these areas, as has the strong work that was done in social studies and in science. By participating in learning walks, classroom visitations, and powerful conversations with your colleagues, many of you worked together last year to continually improve instructional practice. These opportunities as professionals for us to observe, reflect, dialogue, and learn together will continue and expand as we go forward into the new year. You'll hear more about that in the weeks ahead. We successfully transitioned to the Smarter Balanced Assessment System. Now, high school, you have another transition ahead of you. The transition wasn't easy, and it's important to know everyone involved deserves an enormous thank you for all the efforts that contributed to our district's success. We piloted and developed an excellent technology strategy for the high school, which will be implemented this year. In its 5th year, our student internship program reached another all-time high. Over 70 members of the class of 2015 participated last spring. Every one of those members had a mentor who was a high school faculty or a district faculty. So all of you helped this program to continue to thrive. We successfully transitioned to a new website, district-wide. We began our school climate initiatives at Saxon High School with a focus on student ownership and empowerment. Throughout the year at both places, the teams learned about action research, collaboration, evaluation, communication, and probably most importantly, the power of kindness with their friends. We updated our network infrastructure at the elementary schools. We were awarded a state grant for phase 2 of our security initiative, which will begin this fall as we install and upgrade our systems throughout the district. The SACS Auditorium Committee became the SACS Building Committee, as we recognized and communicated the need for more classroom space at SACS due to the increasing enrollment. This work continues as we look for project approval in the fall. The remediation at SACS is complete, and the auditorium surrounds room as well. South School continues to be under construction, and we anticipate finishing sometime in October, as soon as possible. And of course, I mentioned before, perhaps most importantly of all, we've hired over 50 new colleagues in our district this past year. Teachers, administrators, paraprofessionals, others. And they're all joining our school community as we begin this fall. As I reflect upon last year, I'm very proud of all the work we accomplished together. This is far from an exhaustive list, and I know that each of you made countless contributions, big and small, all year long. Looking around our district, it's thrilling to see all that's going on, and energizing to consider the potential for our future. Education in Connecticut today is in a state of flux. At a meeting with the commissioner last week, the chairman of the State Board of Ed shared that Connecticut is transitioning to a time of implementation, that the new commissioner's role is not to generate new ideas so much as to work with districts implementing what's in front of them. Knowing what's in front of us, this is good news. And I'm optimistic it will result in some time and resources to help all districts meet those external demands. Unlike her predecessor, our new commissioner is a lifelong educator who began her career teaching sixth grade social studies in Glastonbury. That gives us, at least me, a little hope as she assumes her new role in front of her. She'll have an understanding of the true value of the work we do. Fortunately for us, however, the changes and jolts in Hartford are usually moderated by our district's thoughtful approach. We do not just blindly accept mandates from the state. Instead, we look to leverage these mandates to ensure we implement them in alignment with our values and with a coherence of thought and action district-wide. For example, we could have just adopted the SEED model of teacher evaluation. Instead, we developed TEPL, which is reflective of our values and high standards as educators. We could have just performed a climate study and put the results on the shelf. Instead, we engaged in a multi-year improvement plan to improve the school experience for all children. As a district, we don't bounce around at the whim of the legislature, but instead we keep our compass pointed true north, remain focused on our core work, commit to keeping students at the center, and practice continuous improvement in all of our efforts. One of the ways we bring coherence to our work is to remain focused on our district goals. Each year, the administration presents revisions to the district goals to the Board of Education. This year, the conversation was about an hour, which shows the importance of the goals. However, looking at that hour, 45 minutes of that conversation was spent discussing Goal 1, which is focused on student learning. Across the entire system, we put our students first. The 5 goals are to increase student learning, to ensure all students are prepared for the future, responsive, clear, timely, and inclusive communication, to continuously enhance teaching and instructional practice, to promote an environment that fosters respect, ethical behavior, and responsible global citizenship. I'm sorry, Susan's taking pictures and she's standing outside. Sorry, squirrel. We all have to gear back up after the summer. The last, to practice good stewardship for district resources. I'm just wondering what that shop must look like. We'll get some blinds. But truly, thinking on the goals. The degree to which we focus on these goals, integrate them into our professional practice, and assess our progress with them in mind, will help determine the degree to which we continue to improve as a district in the year ahead. Continuous improvement in New Canaan is more than a buzzword. You see it in our district's commitment, in our systems, our thinking, and our decisions. Essentially, we believe that no matter how good you are, you can always get better. And that goes for all of us. This commitment takes focused effort and purposeful action, individually and collectively. As we prepare to begin the school year, I ask you to take a moment to reflect upon your practice in this regard. What can you do today, tomorrow, Thursday, next week to improve? Identify it, commit to it, and then do it. It's not easy. Trust me, I certainly know that. but nothing meaningful comes without some struggle. And when I look around and I consider the collective capacity of our district, I know that anything's possible. Before I conclude, which I promise will be soon, I want to take a moment to thank each of you for the hard work, dedication, and devotion that you bring with you every day, for making the curriculum come alive in your classrooms, for the countless hours and tireless efforts you'll put forth in the year ahead, and for believing in and inspiring every one of your students as you prepare and participate in their journey of self-actualization and enlightenment. Years ago, I read a book called Defining Moments that taught me, among other things, that the thousands of little decisions we make every day in our lives are the true defining moments. That we're not summed up by one single, big, hero-like defining moment, but instead we're the sum total of all that we say and do, how we act and interact with others, and how we love and are loved in our lives. For your students, every moment in your classroom is another possible defining moment. And I thank you in advance for using these opportunities to cherish and celebrate each individual in your care. As we know, a child's sense of self does not come from who she thinks she is, nor from who we think she is, but from whom she believes we think she is. And I thank you every day for taking the opportunity to show our students that you believe they are unique individuals capable of unlimited greatness. Together, let's make this the best year our students have ever had. Have a wonderful day on Thursday. Thank you so much.
Have a great school year, everyone. Take care.